Hi everyone, this is John Kavashkeda with Neoman, and today we are taking a look at the Honor MagicBook 14. So this laptop was announced by Honor, which is a sub-brand of Huawei, if you're not aware. So this was announced by Honor during what would have been MWC 2020. Obviously that event was cancelled because of what's going on in the world right now, but Honor still did announce this in Barcelona in their own event. And this is meant to be sort of just a regular mid-range laptop. It's affordable, it's good, it seems good at least. It's not meant to be like flashy and too outstanding. So it's €599, £549. It's gonna be available in April, early April. And it's a mid-ranger, so it's got an AMD Ryzen 5 3500U processor with Radeon Vega 8 graphics. It's got 8 gigs of RAM, 250 gigs of SSD storage. That's PCIe too, so it's PCIe, not PCIe 2. It's PCIe as well. So it's pretty fast, and this is just a regular mid-range laptop. So we're just gonna go ahead and open it up real quick. So actually we should just do it like this. It slides out like that. And there's another box here. So this has the charger, of course, so the power brick is pretty chunky, but it does have the power converter and everything in here. So then the cable is just a regular USB Type-C cable, which I really appreciate. I don't like it when laptops have those power adapters that just dangle in the middle of the cable, or they just make it harder to manage the way your cables go around. So this is just a USB Type-C to Type-C cable. It's pretty simple. It's got a nice soft touch finish to it. It's pretty cool. And the charger itself, that's a UK plug, unfortunately. So I'm gonna have to use my travel adapter for that. But it is not too big, considering that it has all the components necessary to adapt the current in here. It's 65 watts. So this is fast charging, at least Honor calls it fast charging. So in about 30 minutes, you're supposed to get 47% of battery life. You get, you charge your battery up to 47%. In the case of the MagicBook 14, there is also a MagicBook 15, but that one weirdly charges faster. Honor said 53% in the same amount of time, but they didn't really say the capacity of the battery, so I don't know why it charges faster on the 15-inch. Anyways, we're gonna just get this protective foam out of here and take a look at the laptop itself. So it's in here. So this doesn't always capture very well on camera because it depends on the light you're shining it, on the angle of the light and the angle you're looking at it. But the most striking thing about this laptop when you look at it is the fact that the Honor logo is this blue, there's this sort of blue sheen to it, and it kind of reflects it very nicely when you move the laptop around, depends on how you look at it. And it also does something similar with the edges here. So the edges of the lid are chamfered and coated in this sort of azure blue color, which seems a little lighter than the Honor logo, from what I can tell. But it really depends on how you look at it. So from many angles, it's gonna look pretty blackish almost. You barely tell that it's blue. But that's kind of the idea. So laptops can be pretty boring these days in terms of how they look. They all use aluminum. They all use similar colors, the silver, space gray, stuff like that. So this helps you stand out a little bit more. It's something that you can admire, but it also doesn't do it in a way that kind of makes people look at you weird if you pull it out during a meeting or something. So it's nice, but it's still, somewhat subdued. It's not too flashy. So for the rest of the design, it's just aluminum everywhere. It's pretty standard. You can open it up. You see there are screws here. I'm not sure what kind of screws these are. I'm not very familiar with the terms, but they are not regular screws. And here you have the air intake vents. I assume these are the speaker grills because I didn't see them anywhere else. And the rubber feet. This is very hard rubber, so it's not really gonna stick that much to a desk. Oops. It's gonna slide around pretty easily. And this top part here is a little more raised than these two, so it gives you a little bit of an angle, but not much. It's a very small difference, but it does give you a bit of an angle. It might be a little bit more comfortable than just a flat surface. Anyways, going around the laptop, we have 3 ports here. That's the USB Type-C that you use for charging. I think that's USB 3.1 Gen 1. That's a USB 3.0 Type-A, and that's HDMI full size. And then on this side, you got another USB, but this is 2.0. So that's going to be disappointing for some people. If you use it for data transfers, that's definitely going to be a problem. But if you don't, it's fine. Like if you just put an accessory like a keyboard or a mouse in here, that shouldn't be a huge issue. And of course, you have a headphone jack, 3.5mm combo audio, so that's for both the microphone and the earphones. So like I said, the air intakes are here. The air is expelled through the hinge here. I prefer this over some laptops that expel the air from the side. It's not something you see that much nowadays, but I do see it. My current laptop does that, and I don't think it works that great. But so I do prefer this. And then here on the bottom, we just have this little ridge that makes it easier to open the laptop. And I assume these are microphones because I don't see any other microphone holes anywhere. So maybe they put the microphones for video calls and all that stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and just open this up. It's already turned on. But before we look at the screen, let's take a look here at the bottom half of the keyboard. Sorry, okay, there we go. So this is the keyboard here. It is backlit, and you can change the backlight intensity. There's 2 levels, and it's not too bright right now because there's plenty of light here, but it is backlit if you need it in the dark. There is no numpad. There's not a lot of space for it, to be honest, so that's fine. There is a huge, what I would consider a huge trackpad. I know it's not as big as what you might find on a MacBook Pro, but this is really big for what I'm used to. It's comfortable enough. It's not the smoothest I've used, but it's in line with my usual laptop, so I'm not really complaining. And what's really great about this touchpad is that it has precision drivers. So if you want to, if you use touchpad a lot, that's great, because it's just a big problem with how touchpads have worked on Windows 10 for a long time, and precision drivers really help to address that a little bit. And so there's a lot of gestures you can do, 3 fingers, 4 fingers, you can do a lot to control the computer with the touchpad. It's good that it's this big. It's got a lot of space for the 4 fingers, for example. I have fairly small, big hands, so it's good that it fits so comfortably on here. And aside from that, there's the power button here, which has a fingerprint sensor that unlocks the computer pretty quickly. So it does something cool where it reads your fingerprint as soon as you turn on the laptop, and then it can just log you in when you get to the lock screen, so you don't have to touch it again. It works. I've tested it before, but I don't know if I registered the fingerprint all too well. I've had some trouble getting it to work every time. I'll probably have to improve the recognition there. But it's pretty nice. It's fast, and just the fact that it logs you in automatically when you turn it on, I'd say that's a big plus. So another interesting thing that you might notice on the keyboard here is this button with a camera symbol on it. That's because, as Huawei often does, the camera is not above the display or under the display or anything like that. It's actually under this button. So you press it, the camera pops up, and you can use it for calls and all that, and whatever you need it for. So this is not a very good angle to be recorded at, but Huawei does say that most people don't use a webcam at all. So I guess for a lot of people this isn't going to matter. It does matter to me. I have to admit I use the webcam a lot. So I am a little concerned with how that's going to work for me. But maybe it's usable. Aside from that, another interesting thing here is the Honor Magic Link tag as we see here. So if you have a Honor phone, which I don't, you can just tap your phone here and it'll let you control your phone from the computer. You can have your screen projected there and do whatever you want. You can transfer files between the two devices. It's pretty cool. It kind of works like AirDrop, but it's pretty easy to sync up. You just tap and you're good to go. And I think that's the only manufacturer of Windows laptops that's doing something that's seamless. So you do have your phone app with Windows 10 that kind of does that syncing, and it also lets you project your screen if you have a Samsung phone. But it's not quite as seamless as just tapping your phone and going, and the connection isn't always super reliable. So this is pretty nice. I unfortunately can't test it myself because I don't have a Honor phone, but it is still pretty interesting. So moving on from the bottom part here, the top is obviously just a display. There's not a lot of bezels anywhere. It's all very minimal. It's a 14-inch display, 1080p, non-touch, so it's just a pretty standard laptop. I do like that the bezels are small, and I feel like this is a small laptop for a 14-inch, but I haven't had a 14-inch laptop in forever. I've always been more of a fan of the 15-inch form factor, but this seems very small in a good way. The display is bigger than I would expect it to be for something this small. And it's sharp because it's 1080p. I've never really complained about 1080p, and being on a smaller screen than what I'm used to, it's just even better in that sense. Then in terms of colors, of course, I haven't had a lot of time to test it, but it looks fine. I would say it probably looks better than what I had on the Dynabook Tegra X50 that I reviewed earlier this year. So the colors are vibrant. The display is bright enough. Right now I can see fine. This is maximum brightness. I don't know how this would work if I want to use it outside, but I do have the window open. There's plenty of light coming in, and I see it very well. I probably would lower the brightness if I was just using it for myself right now. The finish on the display is also interesting because it's not completely matte and it's not also completely glossy, so it's an interesting in between. So the glare on the screen isn't that bad at all, at least from what I can tell. It's really not that bad, but it also doesn't do that thing that some matte displays do, where it can make the colors look kind of washed out when you look at it. It still looks really good without the drawback of that glare. So I think this is a really good balance that they've achieved here with the display. And of course, like I said, I haven't tested it that much, but it looks really good. I look at it right like this from this angle. It's like I can't even see the bezels. It just feels like it's all screen. There's nothing really distracting me from the screen. It feels bigger than it is, I guess. So I do really like a lot of things about this laptop. It is a cheap laptop, so it's not going to be the fastest thing out there. It's got a Ryzen 5. It's a second gen Ryzen 5 too, so they didn't go with the Ryzen 4000 series that was announced earlier this year. That's definitely going to be a problem if you're buying it right now, because those newer laptops are going to be on the way really soon. And also Intel already has their 10th gen laptops with Ice Lake, and some of those Ice Lake processors also have really good graphics, or much better graphics than you used to. So it's going to be a tough decision there, but it's still an overall decent package that I'm interested in trying out. But of course, that will take some time. I believe that's all there is about the specs of this laptop right now. But just a final note, it does come in two colors. This is the silver one. I believe it's Mystic Silver that they call it. And then there's the Space Gray. So you can choose between those two. It doesn't change the colors of the accents here, so it's going to be the same. It might stand out a little more against the darker color. I'm not sure. But either way, it looks great. It costs €599, 549 pounds. And I think it's going to be available in April. So yeah, I'm kind of interested to take a look at this and see how well it does. So that's all for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.